$39.95 air conditioner service.
Technology
I
is
called
great.
someone during her husband's wake.
Oh, no.
That was kind of like, okay, I am not cut out.
Tapping out, yeah.
Because I just wouldn't pick the phone. And it was the husband's name.
Uh-huh.
You don't know who you're calling. And then I heard the phone hit the floor.
Oh.
And I heard somebody like just wailing, and all of a sudden I hear this, who is this? She's like, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm Catherine, and they're like, oh, well, she said, well, he died.
Yesterday.
And we're actually having his wake, and I'm like, I started crying. I felt so bad that and then the person,
that's a no.
Yeah, and the woman's going, honey, it's okay. You didn't know. It's okay. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. I was like, I can't do this. But I did get to talk to my 5th grade elementary school teacher. I called her house one day, and the name was so unusual. I said, can I ask you a personal question? Did you happen to teach elementary school in the camp?
How you doing?
It was so
Did you get a hold of her?
I placed a guy.
I did, and I tried calling him.
And I called on Sunday to make sure he was gonna, I called on Friday to make sure everything was okay.
Well, I hope he can help.
And his son answered the phone. He says he died yesterday. And of course, the guys in the office, they were, does that mean he's not gonna show up on Monday?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Kind of a visitor here, take Kelly.
I'm Ryan.
He called in.
Hey. How's it going, Ryan?
Chopped liver?
Ryan, did
Hi,
you,
Ryan, I'm Gail, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
How are you, my friend?
you got my email,
Have
right?
you got another date set with Buffalo Lawrenceville? Or is it gonna be a scheduled?
I got a schedule, it'll be like a month.
Yeah.
No, I haven't scheduled it yet.
Maria.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, Maria, we're gonna have a full house. We probably don't have enough agendas.
That's okay. Bill and I can share.
I wrote on mine. Our speaker's sitting there.
You can sit down and get some.
Thank you so much.
Look, that's right, it's fine.
Those are your new pens that you ordered back in November. So did Olin until he sent me 3 times as many as I ordered, so I'm gonna work that out for him.
Yes, I can.
Now when I got him good,
All right.
I remember.
I'll take care of it.
Yay.
Okay, I gotta go, but I'll take care of it. Bye. Did I?
I wrote what you owe for the pen, so just whenever.
Only? Only
That's
for
it.
$1?
Yeah, they were less than $2 a piece, so.
Okay. But.
And before we officially get started, thanks to Mr. Olin, I have a plethora of extra pens that he sent me by accident twice over.
Wow.
So before I send these back to him with my thanks, if anybody missed out on the pen orders, I have 2 of the 3. One is our, where I put it on my vest. One is our 2022 state pen, and the other is considered our trading pen. I said one's like $145, the other's like $165. They're not very expensive, but if you want one, now's the time to let me know.
I have 2022. How are you, Pete?
Good.
How are you?
Are we ready from the video angle?
We're good.
Okay.
We got everything. Nobody's, Ryan's here, so he's not online.
All right.
Is it? Oh, there he is.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good
evening.
Happy spring.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow. And now the sun is out no longer. So how about that? Welcome to the second meeting here in the month of March of the Lawrenceville Lions Club. Excited to see a full house tonight. My name is Brian Donegan. I'm president of the Lawrenceville Lions Club. Before we get going, I would like to ask Maria if she would lead us in the pledge, and
All you gotta do is start.
and Catherine, Lion Catherine, if you would lead us in the invocation after the fact. Please rise, everyone.
Hold on.
Somebody forgot to get the floor. first one here and you forgot the flag.
That is amazing because Pete never forgot
I know.
flag.
There we go.
Okay.
You can keep like that.
All right.
Pledge.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
We'll bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the ability to meet together in fellowship and in Lionism. We thank you for those that could be with us tonight. We pray for those that could not be with us and ask that you return them safely. Tonight, please keep our hearts and minds in line with what you would have us do as a club and as people, that we are following your will. All this we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. All right, you may be seated. Thank you very much. All right, next up is agenda approval. I will take a motion to,
Catherine wants to add something.
Yes, I do.
and it's the request from the stripers, correct?
It's actually the swarm, but
Oh,
thank you.
swarm, excuse me, swarm. I wrote it down and it came out of my mouth.
They both start with S. It's all good.
Yes.
It's a
All right.
sports team.
Okay, I will add that. Is there, adding that, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries and the agenda is approved. All right, Lion Bill, our tail twister. What's your interesting question this week?
Hardy, in honor of the baseball contract being signed, who is your favorite baseball player? We'll start with you, Mr. President.
My favorite baseball
And
player.
we can go back to Mr. Doubleday, who started this all, so.
My
Try
favorite.
to avoid these steroid era players.
Well, I think I will humor you on that because he's the antithesis of the steroid era. My favorite baseball player of all time is Dale Murphy.
Oh, okay.
So,
We used to know someone who lived in his house, his
Yep.
old house.
wow.
I've been in Dale Murphy's old house, yes. That's
Wow.
So it's, you know,
What was it, in Wilbur?
in Snellville.
Snellville.
Had a baseball field in the backyard,
Wow.
Wow.
like real deal, full size, crazy.
He loved baseball. Period.
He had his own baseball team.
And we'll do this clockwise.
Okay. So Pete, you're
What's the
up.
question?
Who's your
Clockwise.
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 No,
Oh,
no.
otherwise.
Don't
never
all
mind.
ask me at once.
The other
One
clockwise.
person.
The other way. The question is, who's your favorite baseball player? But it's gonna go to Ted. I
Oh.
messed up.
Over here, huh?
Yes,
All right.
Well, let's see, you'd have to go back in time, my name is Ted, so I always liked Ted Williams. He was played for the Boston Red Sox, he had, he was just a remarkable, batter, he had all kinds of batting records. And he also served in World War II, for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So was
I'm not
his
here.
head,
You're not here? Okay.
was his head really cryogenically frozen?
I'm not, sorry, I'm not fond baseball.
That's okay.
It's okay.
And Brian stole mine, mine's Dale Murphy, but I grew up here and so we went to Lawrenceville County Stadium and
Oh, yeah.
watched him and everything, so. Yeah, he
Oh,
was number 3.
I cried myself to sleep the night he was traded.
Yeah.
Mr. Maddox.
Ooh, the professor.
Okay.
Your turn.
Willie Mays,
Say hey.
Wow.
Interesting.
growing up in the Bay Area, watching him play
Yeah.
back in the day.
One of the best.
I've already thought of 4, but I would say my first player I was a true fan of would have to be Chris Chambliss, first baseman for the Braves back in the 70s.
Nice choice.
Yeah, mine's tough, because mine's more like a tie. I'm a lifelong Braves fan, but my favorite growing up was Ryan Klesko.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Good
See,
guy.
like, there's a whole list of Braves I
Good
think
guy.
I can think of right now.
The second was like Ken Griffey.
Oh,
Senior or junior?
Senior.
Junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, senior was a
Yeah.
little before my
Okay,
time.
me, I grew up in Michigan, listening to the Detroit Tigers. I could give you a whole list of Tigers that I like, but I'm gonna say Al Kaline.
Nice.
I could say Charlie Paw Maxwell. You ever hear of him?
No.
He played for him back in the 60s. But
Nice.
Al Kaline, I would say he was a great player, outfielder.
Nice.
Makes me think of Otis Nixon,
Mhm.
who I like to watch play too, so.
President Bryant, that's all that I have, so I return the floor back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Lion Tom.
Yes, sir.
We have a guest with us tonight. Would you please introduce him formally to us?
Sure.
Point of order,
Yes.
you skipped an item on the agenda, sir.
I didn't want to be the bad guy, thank you.
You're welcome. I got your back.
Virginia Tail Twister.
Secretary's report.
Well,
I know, it's a formality,
It is-
and it's there.
fine.
That's $2 to the kitty, right?
Before I do that, I'm going to call on Lion Tom and the secretary's report, and that can be a little part of it. So, yeah. But also there is a request on the table for a motion to dispense with the reading of the secretary.
There is, okay. Who made the motion?
I said that there's an invitation.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
inviting.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to dispense with the reading of the Secretary's report.
Awesome. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. I don't think you can
Can
second
the
the Secretary. You're
There's some
silent,
conflict.
Terry.
All right.
We'll let Maria have the second.
Fine. Good. All right. We have a motion and a second. All
I've
in
been
favor
doing
of
it.
dispensing with the reading of the secretary's report signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We aren't horses, so, because we're lions and, and the ayes have it. So, we can, move on.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I think everybody has met Gail tonight, but Assistant Chief Gail Higginbotham, Assistant Chief of Detectives, right?
Correct.
Correct. Grew up in Gwinnett County and graduated from Meadow Creek High School.
Those things.
She went on to earn her Bachelor's of Science degree in Criminal Justice from the University of North Georgia.
Okay.
She then went on to earn a master's degree in Public Administration from Columbus State University in 2011. 2014, she graduated proudly from the 258th session of the FBI National Academy.
Wow.
She began her career in 1996, the year of the Olympics, and graduated from the 37th Gwinnett County Police Academy. I want you to know the Gwinnett population in 1996 was just shy of 477,000 people.
Crazy.
Today, that is just shy of 1 million, and it encompasses 437 square miles. During her career, Gail worked in the uniform division at every rank up to including major. She worked as a DUI task force officer, a detective, and later a sergeant in the criminal investigation division. She has also worked as an assistant commander of the special operations section, where she oversaw operations for the motor unit, accident investigation unit, red light camera unit, my favorite, school crossing guards, and the crime prevention unit. Assistant Chief Higginbotham served as a major for over 7 years. She served as precinct commander for both our West and East precincts, and she also served as the Police Academy Director for 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Assistant Chief Gail Higginbotham.
Thank you very much.
And young folk over that director.
It's a crazy, and I tell you, when you start listening to that, I think all the stuff I've been able to do with Gwinnett County, it's unbelievable. So when I started, there was 450 officers, about 20 females out of all that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you know, we knew everyone. You could count them on your fingers. I don't know what it is now, but and then I did write down how many officers we have now to date. We're authorized 930, but we only have 675.
What?
It's just been really tough. So yeah, we're shorthanded right now, but especially when you see the population growth, you would hope that we would be doubling our police force, but that's it. So today, what we want to talk about is behind the badge. Who am I, and why in the world did this little girl get into police work? So I grew up in Gwinnett County in Lilburn. I was the youngest of 4 kids, and I always tell my brother he gave me the grit in my gut, and he probably put some down my mouth and really put it in my gut. But just had a great childhood growing up here. Went to First Baptist Lilburn. Mom and Dad very active in our lives. My father, he died when I was 14. I think his life and his death both impacted me. You know, really did. It formed who I am. Mom always said it made us grow up really fast. I don't know what that means, but I embraced it, you know, and I just headstrong in everything I did, and I wanted to learn as much as I could, and I wanted to experience as much. I think the value of life just meant a lot to me. So I went on to Meadow Creek High School, played sports, played soccer, ran track, and basketball. Y'all hold out. I got the high school record for high jump. But the school was only 3 years old, and I was the one making the record. So it has since been crushed, I'm quite certain.
But you got to the first.
I had the first, and I got my little ribbon and my little medal for high school.
Someone's gotta be first.
That's right.
There's a picture in a glass case somewhere in a hallway.
That's
you know.
Yeah.
So you're good at chasing crooks over fences.
That's right. Yeah. Well, backwards, right? Yeah. Who in the world decided that?
I was gonna say, which style did you use?
Yeah, the back running and jumping backwards.
That was flop.
Fosbury flop?
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
So what'd you do?
Yeah. My basketball coach, I was on the soccer field, and he goes, "Come on, just break over there and come over here and run track and be a high jumper." And so that's what I did. So. So then I went on to North Georgia College in Dahlonega, another of my father's legacy. He wanted my sisters to go there. They were old enough when he was alive. So we all ended up going. So all 4 of us went there. And I was open option forever. I had no idea what in the world I wanted to do. Mom had been a housewife her whole life, so I really didn't get direction from her, you know. So my brother really, he was 2 years older than me. I just really followed him around. And he ended up going criminal justice. And I said, that sounds good. I'll go criminal justice. So North Georgia College, y'all are all familiar. It's military. Now, I was not in the military, but most, you know, all the guys had to be in the military if they went there. And so this guy named Barkley, and I say that because he had his name badge on, and I can't remember his first name to save my life. But Barkley came up to me one day, and he goes, I think you would really enjoy being a volunteer firefighter. Why I thought that? I had no idea, but I said, sounds good. I'm going to go try that out. Well, I loved it. Every chance I got to learn again, experience, I said, I want to do it. Arson investigation came along, and I'd go out and I saw this fire investigation. I thought, man, that's really cool. And then I lived in town, and so they started saying, hey, you want to drive a truck? So any of y'all have driven those big trucks, like split shift? So I'm driving these big tanker trucks in the mountains of North Georgia, responding to calls with split shift. So it's like 8 gears, high, low, whatever. So water transferring back and forth in the truck, and I'm going around these curves. So that'll come into play later when I get to the police force. So I'm doing that, loving it. So I go to an arson school. I want to be an arson investigator. That's what I've decided. That sounds pretty fun. So I go to arson school and I meet an ATF agent, Sam Wheat. And I said, I need guidance. Tell me what I need to do. And he said, well, this is a very rural area. You need to get peace officer certified. So that's any police officer in Georgia, you have to get peace officer certified. He says, you got to do that first because you have to have arrest powers to be an arson investigator. I said, okay. So I started looking around. I said, Gwinnett County. It's where I grew up. I'm going to go join the police department down there, get my certification, and then I'll transfer back to the fire department. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got down here.
Fall in love.
I fell in love with the police department. So it was a pretty grueling, 6 months it took me to get hired. Pretty good lengthy process back then. But I got hired in '96 and started the academy. I was the only female in a class of 14. Of course, I told you already it was not a lot of females. But you know, being a female, it must have been my brother. No one ever said, you're a female, why are you doing that? Or you can't do that because you're female. It didn't bother me, you know, it never even crossed my mind that I couldn't do that. So I started that and went to the academy. And ours is, if you didn't know, Gwinnett County Police Academy, we have our own academy. So ours is twice as long as what the state requires. The state requires a 10-week course. Well, we go through about 24 to 26, just depending on the session. So double that amount. And then we put you through an FTO field training course. It's 8 weeks where you're riding with another officer. So, but yeah, I absolutely fell in love with it. But when I was in college, so that was my first introduction was fire department. But I worked for Helen Police Department as a police assistant, which meant I directed traffic and I told tourists where things were. I unlocked cars that people had lost their keys in the river.
So you have experience.
Yes,
On one
that's right. Yeah.
Green
It's a lot easier back then too. I'm sure.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I don't think now you wouldn't even want to mess with all the electronics. Yeah. I was a DJ in college, so I started doing fire reports. There's Captain Bill went before me, and he passed the torch on to me. And he goes, "I need you to do the fire reports." Well, what do you do?
No pun intended.
Every week, you know, you pick up the phone and you call in, and they'll record you giving the fire report. How many fires we had that week? Yada yada yada. So this has been Firefighter Gail reminding you to stay safe and have a good day. That was my ending every time. So they liked me as a DJ, so they hired me as a weekend DJ. And so I used to play AM 1210 Delaware, Georgia.
Nice.
And played
I love
it was
Delaware.
old gospel hymns and things. I didn't even know that much about it, but I had turntables and everything. And then I would do the race, the NASCAR race on Sunday.
Oh, there you
so I
go.
got introduced to NASCAR racing by that.
Fine.
Yeah.
So did you interview Bill?
No, I should have, right?
Yeah, you're right there.
That's right, yeah. Wild Bill from Dawsonville, yeah. But when I got in the police department, I just, I loved it. I loved every aspect of it. I loved chasing down bad guys. I loved pulling people over. But I loved helping people. This one lady called one night, and I get to the door, I'm like, "What's wrong?" "I got these kids, I'm by myself, and I have a dead kid behind the dryer." I said, "Go get me a bag." I take the kids out, and I went and got the dead kid out from that. You know what I mean? I love this job. I love being able to help people. Go in the world called police to remove a kitten. People who need help. So I love this job.
Then kitten?
A kitten.
Oh my
It gotten back behind the dryer and died. So, but just all kinds of things, being able to talk people out of committing suicide and sitting with them and telling them this isn't the end, you know, everything about it. And then I got the opportunity to do DUI task force I arrested about 200 DUIs in about a year and 8 months when I was back there. Because that's your sole job. So every night you're going out and you're looking for drunk drivers. But very rewarding to think every life that you arrested, that person, you saved their life and no telling who else. Because as a DUI task force, we also had to respond to every fatal crash. So we saw the guts and the gore. So it makes your job even more important when you see that. And then you have to make death notification to family members. So you really just, yeah. So it just gives more meaning to your job when you're doing that. Favorite job, did you know that we did speed enforcement from the helicopter? That was a blast.
That's expensive.
I don't even think they do that anymore, but back then.
How do you do it?
So there's 440 yards marked off on the interstate, and so you would do a speed, and you time it when the car would hit the first line and the second line. And I love being in the helicopter calling out speeders, and I love being on the ground. But the reason we did it is, while yes, it was an expensive way to do it, but you're getting the really high speeders that you can't get normally. So you would catch them and they'd get off. It's 85 northbound is where we'd always do it at Beaver Run. And they'd get off at Boggs Road and we'd have to be sitting there waiting for them. Motorcycles. So that was good. So the way the police department generally works is anytime you get promoted, you go back to uniform patrol, which is good. That's the roots of the department. You got to have people on the road answering 911 calls. That is the crux of it. I think we have, out of those 675 officers, about 435 are in uniform patrol. So that's the biggest portion of our department. And then I work in criminal investigations, and I have about 160, I think, somewhere around there. So criminal investigations has your homicide, robbery, special victims, burglary, those type of crimes. And then I have, we call it special investigations, which is vice, narcotics. They also do, so we have all the sex trafficking that's been going on. You hear about it all the time. So we also have a crew that works that. They work kind of in conjunction. We say upstairs and downstairs because upstairs is the detectives and downstairs is the narcotics and vice. So it's upstairs and downstairs. But they work together. So they'll work those type of cases. Can you hear me okay? No, I'm so sorry. I just thought about it.
He tapes this thing, so I can go home and listen to it tomorrow.
Okay, with your earphones on. Okay.
You're all right.
Okay. Yeah, detectives work together on those kind of cases. I think an eye-opening for me, especially in detectives, was all the child crimes and these internet predators that go after these children. That's awful. So the GBI, they monitor all that. So these companies actually, when they see anything like that, they get flagged and they send it to the GBI. The GBI calls through that, sees what jurisdiction it is, and sends it. So we have a huge unit that's dedicated to just that. So yeah, that was an eye-opener. I didn't see much of that in my career. When I worked detectives, I worked robbery and homicide. And I remember them coming and asking me to go to special victims. It'd be good to have a girl over there, and I said, no, I'm working robbery and homicide. I don't no, thank you. Yeah, I want the bad guys that are gun wheeling and running. Yeah, that was more my cup of tea. So those special victims, they see a lot, they hear a lot, and it's awful. We just started last year a mandatory counseling program for them, just really to touch on that mental health, trying to keep people okay. I mean, it's just a tough thing to see and hear those victims day in and day out.
Yeah.
So, but boy, they have a heart for it. I mean, they love it. Very rewarding to be able to save some of those kids.
That's a gift. I said that's not. Yeah. I don't think people wake up one day and go, yeah, that's what I want to do.
That's right. It's special people. So we certainly tried, and the counseling seems to be working. Just things that you can't go home and talk to your spouse or your loved one about. you have an outlet to talk to somebody about. So that's been very well received. So, y'all have questions for me?
Yes,
Yes.
Aaron, and I'm gonna suspect that this isn't the first time you've been asked this question. Are you any relation to Doug Higginbotham?
No,
Okay.
I'm not.
I bet I'm right that I'm not the only one.
No,
that's
you're
asked
not. That's right.
that.
Yeah. So my folks came from the Higginbothams.
He's German name.
Yeah, we came from Arkansas, but my parents did.
Yeah.
But there's actually quite a bit of Higginbothams in Georgia. So we traced back to 1780s in Elberton, Georgia.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's funny that we came back. Yeah.
So where's the academy in Gwinnett County?
Right around the corner.
Right up there?
Yeah.
Is it?
You take a left, go down here on the left, Sweet Gum.
Near the pet thing.
Yes, right by
Animal control.
animal control
Yeah.
at the traffic light, and it's way back in there.
So good on your test to get a free puppy.
That's right, yeah. Does she want the free puppy?
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, I was the academy director for 2 years. That was a lot of fun. Just really looking at the courses and seeing how we can improve. We always want to improve. We always want to have the best officers out there, trained the best we can. So getting in there and really looking at it and revamping where you can revamp. I like doing that. I like looking at things and seeing a different way and trying to make things better.
So how can we help get the 300 more officers?
Well, I don't want to talk money, but it is money. I mean, that's the crux of the problem is you have a very small pool of applicants for law enforcement. Due to the times, whatever's going on, plus there's just a lot of need for law enforcement. So we have a very small pool of applicants and a very large number of departments around here. So until and unless we get above the pay for the rest of the Metro Atlanta, these young kids are not looking for all the benefits Gwinnett County has. They're looking at the bottom dollar. So it's about money.
So what's entry level pay grade?
37, I believe it is now.
They
37.
can't support themselves.
No, so that's another thing, and I think the chairwoman, she's very cognizant of that, and I think especially through last year, knowing that a lot of our officers can't afford to live in Gwinnett County,
But can't afford to live anywhere.
Right, yeah.
I mean, if you go out, we've been looking out 50 miles, it's the same price there as it is here.
It is, that's right, yeah. So, I think if we can get above that is how you get more people in, and then you have to retain them. So we're losing them, after 1 or 2 years, they get in.
They take advantage of the training and then move on where they can make more money.
They do, yeah. They'll go to little city departments that pay more. I still think Gwinnett County's the best. The grass is not greener. I had a pastor once say, the grass isn't greener, you need to fertilize what you got. Really put into this department and make it what you want it to be and be a part of that. And that's what I've done, just you put yourself into this department and make it the best you can. Make it what you want it to be,
Good parable for life.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what else? Any questions?
Any other questions?
So is there a favorite case or whatever that you've had through your career that you like to talk about, or?
Probably my favorite case when I was working robbery, it was a jewelry store robbery. And it was my favorite because I solved it, but it was my favorite because they were so brutal and hurt the family so bad. It was a takeover robbery. They jumped the counter, and Miss Na, little tiny little Asian lady, they beat her. Why? Why? The senselessness of it. And this was back in the days of VHS recorders, and the ghosting of it, you could hardly see the pictures. But we actually, one of my crime scene techs found a phone that had fallen under the safe and was one of the bad guys' phones. And we were able to find the suspect that way. and big, when I told you they jumped over the counter, so big palm prints. And then I got some still shot. This is old school. I mean, we're watching, pause the TV, and I took a 35mm camera and took a picture of it, right? That's what you did.
Yeah.
And then crime scene would print it out. And I took it down and found his mother and said, do you know who this is? She said, that's Dante, my son. Would you please sign and date the back of it? She signed and dated it. But I stayed in touch with them. I don't know why that one meant so much to me. Again, probably because of the brutality of it. But I still go over and see them. They moved their shop, but I still go and see them and check on them. So you just made that connection with the family. That was 20 years ago. But yeah, that was a good case. And then probably my favorite as far as saving someone, you feel like you really helped somebody. Lady, she just said, was at her wit's end, and she thought, you know, I'm gonna end my life. There's no point. I can't find a job. I've lost my job. I don't have any income. And I sat and talked to her. I don't know how long. Supervisor's pretty good about, you know, letting me stay on calls like that. They knew I'd take care of business. But I told her, I said, I saw a son at the subway looking for a manager. Guys, she went and got that job. Months later, finally an officer said, she's been trying to track you down to tell you thank you, and she got that manager's job. But, you know, things like that in your career where you know, you really made a difference in somebody's, even if it's one night, changed their life and helped them out. So,
You keep a book?
I don't. It's all up here. My mom actually remembers stuff that I don't remember. You remember that case you did or that call you went on? Because I'd share it with her. But very rewarding career that, I mean, and like the FBI National Academy, that's in Quantico. In the middle of the Marine base, and we were at the FBI school. That was a phenomenal, and there was 218 students, 18 of which were international students. So I met people from all over the U.S. and all over the world. And the Middle Eastern guys, if y'all can tell already, I'm kind of a card and I like to mix it up with people. So I get right in the middle of them and just talk to them and have a good time. And one night we were going to, our teacher was having us over for a party and we were all riding together. And apparently I say dadgum a lot. But the other thing I say is holy cow. And they said, what is this holy cow you speak of? Yes, it's holy cow. I mean, it's so funny the things that we say that you don't even realize you say. And to someone internationally, you know, that doesn't have a clue what dadgum is either. But it was a great experience.
I take it you're taking all your kids over to meet her at some point, right?
Maybe.
We need to.
Yeah, we did it at the Lawrenceville Police Department already.
Did
Good.
Yeah, I tried to get one over there and they keep trying to get me to.
Let's make sure your kids meet her, because I imagine we can get some recruits.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We love it. Have any of y'all ever been through the police, Citizens Police Academy? That's a lot of fun. Now it's a commitment. I think is it once a week for 7 or 8 weeks?
Yeah, I remember.
Something like that. But you really get to see in behind Gwinnett County Police and just who we are. So I do recommend that if you want to look into the next one. We just had the introduction meeting 2 weeks ago. There was 32 people.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that really want to get into their community, you know, be a part of it and see what Gwinnett Police are all about. I'm very proud of our organization. I mean, we've worked hard. Granted, I've been here 25 years. November was 25 years for me. But like I said, I fertilized what I had. You know, just really just put your heart and soul in this agency and made it what it is. It was a good foundation.
Okay, so how did the truck play in later?
Oh, yes. So when I'm in the academy, this is a funny story. I never really got the whole, you're a girl, you can't do things. But clearly it was in the back of some people's mind. Y'all remember, you're old enough to remember bumper jacks.
Yeah.
All right. So we have to do vehicle maintenance. That's in the academy. You gotta know how to change a tire and all that stuff. I've been changing fire truck tires and doing stuff like that. I know what I'm doing. So I had that tire on and off with a bumper jack when the instructor came by. He goes, young lady, you need to change that tire. Sir, I already changed it. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. I really did. So two of the other recruits who were still working on their tires told him, she already changed it. So then comes, he was also a driving instructor. So I was like, I'm not liking this guy. He's thinking I'm a liar. So we got to go to Road Atlanta for driving. And so we took police cars up there, and I'm driving, and this instructor goes, where in the world did you learn to drive? And I was like, I've been used to driving fire trucks in the mountains. Water sloshing around this little car is nothing. So they said, in a year, we want you to come back and we want you to be a driving instructor. So I circled back around and became a driver instructor. And that was because of there's no doubt driving big fire trucks in the mountains. And so even better, the story gets better.
Okay.
So I was able to go 10 years ago to FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Brunswick, to an advanced driving instructor school. It's 2 weeks long. And I met my husband there.
Wow.
So had I not gone to fire department and not been this gutsy girl, I would never met my husband. He is the just love of my life. But we fell in love at a 2-week driving school. He was from South Florida, 611 miles apart, and we flew back and forth on Spirit Airline because it was inexpensive for 2 years. And I coaxed him up here. I told everybody, I don't know if he fell in love with me or the mountains, but he came up here, and he actually is a police officer with Gwinnett County.
That's
the car story.
So who drives when you guys go
He
somewhere?
does, isn't that funny?
Okay.
He loves driving. I'm like, I don't care. But I do get that thrill occasionally to be able to drive fast and in a controlled environment. It's even better because you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
I went through driving instructor school down at our Gypstick, which is Georgia Public Safety Training Center, and the instructor, he was an old New York State Trooper, retired. Y'all know who's got the fastest time out here on this wet track engine pulling? And they said, Gail. But here's another one. I had been already gone around that track so many times because Gwinnett County would go down there and they let me try it out. So every time the recruits would break at lunch, I'd eat a sandwich real quick and then I'd go up on the track and I'd run laps. So I really got used to running laps. So honed my skill a little better.
Thank you so much, Chief Higginbotham. Thank you for, and also thank you to everyone that serves with you. You know, whether you realize it or not, you're a lifesaver and you're a hero in my book. So thank you for what you did.
I'm honored and I love it. I'm gonna give you all my card. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll let you ask that question.
You were the chief.
You just said you're not in leadership.
That's right.
Let
Okay.
you have my
Let me-
information, but
Please do. Good idea.
Um,
Say.
Brian?
yes,
Hang on a second. One of the things we're about to do after the red part of our meeting is to sign the or agree to sign the contract for this year's golf tournament.
oh, fun.
And I can't think of anybody better to serve as our honorary chair for this year's tournament. Would you do us the honor?
What do I do to, what's the?
Well, you job description for that. You have to donate $3 million.
Right.
I get to ride
So,
my
yeah,
car.
We get to ride in your car. No,
Yeah.
no, it's probably the easiest job in the entire golf tournament committee. Be there the day of the tournament.
Well, I'd love to.
Welcome everybody. And so of course, you know, we always love having you play with us. So
Oh, yeah, y'all did. Yeah, and I was hurt this year and I had to get, I think my pastor came and played in my place this year. But yeah, I got my pedals back, so. But yes, no, I would love to. I'd be honored.
Great.
Yep.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Chief, if you don't mind, on June 4th, we're having a baseball game up at the Stripers Field, Cool Ray, and we're selling tickets for that for a fundraiser for our Georgia Lions camp down at Waycross.
Nice.
If you don't mind, could I send you one of our flyers?
Yes.
And maybe some of the officers or people in the place over there I'd like to go, not in the jail, but the.
They probably like to go too.
I don't want to be responsible for them though.
Right.
But we'll have Lions from all over, sell tickets. We have a lot of people come, just make it open to the public, and the funds that we generate go to the Georgia Lions Camp for the Blind. There's a lot of kids. Brian went there for 10 years.
Very nice.
And
Yes.
a lot of kids, their families can't afford that,
Sure.
and Lions basically pay for it. So the funds that we raise help send a kid to camp down there for what, a week,
Yes,
something like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
So my mom was in the Lilburn Lions Club years ago, and I remember helping her, the club, paint the Wynn House on John Drive near 29.
Oh,
I remember going in there in elementary school and painting.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Wow.
and you went to Rotary rather than the Lions Club?
No.
Oh, okay. You were just a speaker at Breast.
Yes, just to
Did you
speak.
say your mom was a Lion?
In Lilburn, yeah, Lilburn Lions, it was, gosh.
I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to share one of
There you
those.
go. Right.
My dad was a Lion back in years and years ago. He was also an optometrist, but I didn't know that much about him. I moved from Michigan down here, and somebody invited me to come to a Lions meeting, and
Very nice.
And he's Lion for many years.
that's like 32 or 3 years ago, I guess.
I didn't show y'all my trick.
I think you need some glasses.
So I just got glasses again for the first time. I had LASIK done 18 years ago, and I started, I'm
Show us the
excited.
trick again.
So I got these.
I'm here and I don't see. It's me.
Yeah, I know, you can't tell. So I got the prescription and it was giving me a headache, and they said, well, let's see if you can do monovision. So they popped it out last week,
Oh, wow.
and so it's working. But did y'all see the news today? We had that stop swap standoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm there, and I'm freaking, the passengers see my eyes, and they're like, what's going on? And I did that, and then they started laughing. But, yes.
You know, one of the things that we do as a club, and probably most every club in this state do, if somebody approaches us and they cannot afford because they don't make that kind of money, they're under the poverty line, we'll send them to an
That's
optometrist,
great.
and we'll pay for the exam and pay for the glasses.
I love it.
When you don't need those glasses anymore, turn them into your local optometrist. They'll send them down to Lawrenceville Lighthouse, not Lawrenceville Lighthouse, but the Georgia Lions Lighthouse. They'll clean them up. Not that particular pair, but they send them overseas.
Just to add the other lens, you know.
That's right, here's the other one. Well, hopefully this week I'll get some clear. She couldn't believe I was gonna walk around. She said, you know, you can do it on the weekend. I was like, I don't care. And she's like, you don't care walk around? I said, I write my own book. I don't care. She didn't know what to do about that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wish I could just have one lens. I got 3 in one, so.
Okay, yeah.
My
So
daughter
your mom-
have 3 in
Your
one.
mom's no longer in the line?
She's not, no. That was a long time ago. I don't know how long she was in. I just remember, isn't that funny, the things you remember? But I remember that very distinctly.
Mhm.
She taught us at a young age, you know, to get involved in the community and go help others. And yeah.
well, we'd sure love to have you.
Well, thank you. Y'all are a little too far. I live way out.
Gotcha.
Well, we can zoom you in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
We're
Nobody
lucky.
That's great. Nobody there to.
Not tonight, but like I said, it's not a requirement that you live in the city
Right,
limits. so,
right. Well, I'm honored and I appreciate what y'all do as well. I mean, community involvement. Somebody asked me what Lions Club was, and I told them, they go, so what did they do? You know, because a lot of people don't know any civic organizations,
Sure.
what an important part they play to our communities. They
Yes.
really do.
We're all on the decline.
Yeah.
historically.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah. It's all me, right?
Well, the internet, TV,
Yeah, all sorts of things.
air conditioning.
GoFundMe,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
If, if you'd like to stick around, you're very much welcome to. Otherwise, you can feel free to, beat the traffic.
Yes, because I am. It's been a very long day.
You get up at like 3, right?
I get up usually at 4, but you know, the best laid plans of mice and men. I went in early, like usual. I was gonna come home at noon, take care of stuff, take a shower, come back here. Well, then SWAT call out 10 o'clock this morning, so, yeah. So,
Especially
We
after
really
last
appreciate
night.
it. You're wonderful.
well, I hope y'all enjoyed it. That was what you were, it
Wait
was
a minute,
interesting.
in the morning.
Yes, there was a bus.
Bus, Greyhound, I understand he
Greyhound
was
bus, yeah.
arrested. But anyway, beside that, I want to thank you so much,
Thank
from
you.
my side at least, because of you guys, my oldest grandson love and respect you
Very nice.
very much, because he was in kindergarten and teacher teach them, if happen something, you call 911.
Right.
Clear. And he was very nice. As another mother-in-law, grandmother with him. And she don't pay attention. My grandson was in kindergarten, not even in elementary. Grab the phone, call 911. When she see, she tried to know, but they call back. What is happened? And she, how much she speak English. Nothing, just kid play. Of course, you don't believe. Until she hang up, police was on driveway, but was on very nice officer. Speak with her and ask permission to speak with child, and call child outside. And what is happened? You are hurt, you are something. No, just I want to see the police.
wanted to see the police.
He was very honest. He was see the fire. He was poor woman, she frozen to death. But officer was very sweet and very nice, not rude, not nothing. Okay, you see us. And I'm glad nothing happened. But you must understand consequences. And explain to him everything. He was face down.
Yeah.
Okay. And from that moment, he remember and now. He gonna go in UGA.
Nice.
Finish,
Smart.
finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he still remember and he respect very much.
That's nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I hope it was Gwinnett County, but it would not have been. Yeah.
You live here close.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you
You
very
guys,
much.
y'all be in touch. You got my card. If you need
Absolutely.
anything, give me a call.
Do you
Be
guys
happy to
use
help.
those license plate readers on your cars?
We do. My husband actually has one on his.
Hello.
Yeah, it's good. What a.
Just the technology is being able to read those,
I
you
know.
know.
My husband's
Oh,
in
yeah.
charge of the flock program too. Those are the cameras that are stationed all over, and they're license plate readers as well.
Okay.
So that's what he does.
Are those camera which is practic installed in back car?
They are on cars, and then some of them are stationary on poles. But there's quite a few now. Yeah, it's helping us
Yes.
find bad guys.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was gonna say, it's tough to be a bad guy anymore.
It is. They get smart. I mean, anything within technology. Put paper tags on their cars, and my husband got a stolen vehicle yesterday, and the guy had sprayed. It was a black car. They spray painted it white, literally to change the color, but left the tag.
Oh, boy. Thank you very much. You know, everything is to be, to go the truth, you know,
Yes.
find the.
Yes. Find the
Thank
truth.
you
That's
so
right.
much.
Y'all take care. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on the golf tournament. Get in touch with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
I hope we see you to next meeting. Become lion.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Very nice
folks.
lady.
Speed round.
Speed round. Do-do-do-do-do. Line Catherine, budget.
Everybody have a chance to look at the budget proposal.
Yes.
Anybody not have a chance to look at the budget proposal?
Me,
Lucky for you.
thank you.
Basically at this point, I just need to know if anybody wishes to make any changes to the budget as it was presented 2 weeks ago.
You want to go get somebody off the street?
No.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve the budget?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approval of the budget as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries and we have an approved budget. Thank you, Lion Catherine. Thank you very much.
Make sure yours goes up first.
The next question, in the future planning, how's the return on the surveys?
We have had 7 responses out of the current roster of
Okay.
13.
Okay,
So if anyone here today has not completed their survey, I ask you nicely, please go do that. I think that the majority of the folks that have not responded are those who have, not been able to attend meetings or, Lamont, Kathy, McMillan, those that haven't been coming to meetings regularly and just maybe don't check their email as often. I have no way of knowing who has and who hasn't. So I'm just gonna generically put it out there. If you haven't, please do it. And if you have, thank you very much. I will,
I know, I think.
Has anybody talked to Kathy? I called, left her a message last week, and heard back.
I haven't.
I know she's on Facebook frequently.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we try that route.
Would you mind reaching out to her on Facebook? I don't do Facebook.
Right. All right. So as far as a future planning meeting,
I will put some dates together and have an email out to everybody in the next 2 days.
excellent. Thank you very much.
You're very
Catherine.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's coming up.
All right, Lion Pete, report on the upcoming stripers.
All right, I just passed out the flyer that I'm working on. If you can see where the Lions logo is and the Camp for the Blind logo, she has that kind of wrong, and I've asked her to put one on one side and one on the other, kind of spread them out. Other than that, I made a change down there. The pregame Tom notified me, said pregame tailgate party, and then Brian asked me to put my phone number on there in case anybody has any questions that we're selling tickets to. Hopefully, I did not get the change made on that in time to get it. I think she had probably left for the day, but if I can get it tomorrow, I will email that out to everybody, but you get an idea of what it looks like right now. If you have any changes that you want to see put on there, let me know by in the morning so I can get her working on it, okay? Because I've already made about 3 or 4 changes. And I'm hoping that it's good to go. But what I plan on doing is having many of these printed out and be able to get them to people down at the state convention in Dublin. We've handed them down there. I talked with Brian Gordon, and he suggested getting them printed out and putting them in the goodie bag that they get to everybody so that everybody gets them. I'll have some for the Camp for the Blind. They have a table down there. Also, I'll have Linda Selby. I'll send her a copy and ask her to send it out statewide. What I'm looking for really is people from L and O. Those are going to be the ones. But I also want everybody else to know what we're doing, okay? And so I'll also have enough printed out that we give to our 4th cabinet meeting picnic. I don't know where it's going to be, but we'll give it. That'll be for people basically in our district here. So want to try and get this out so that y'all would have them, and we can start, contacting people and see if they would like to support us. Okay, Brian Gordon is going to help us with the hot dogs, and we can do the hot dogs and chips next for the year. Get us some drinks. I don't remember what we did, if we did soft drinks or just water last year. So anyway, that's what I've got so far. So if you see any changes that need to be made, something doesn't look kosher, let me know.
Aaron, do you think your kids would want to come to the game?
Huh?
Sorry, I was asking around a question.
Yeah, I already have an event planned with them.
Oh, okay. Well, I just didn't know if we could get some tickets that we could give to Win It Chat, if you think.
Well, here's what normally happens. If we sell a lot of tickets, a lot of people aren't coming. They'll say, I'll buy 2 tickets, 3 tickets, you give them away. So what happens is, one year, what did we have? Over 100 tickets. People didn't come. We were giving them to Lawrenceville Housing Authority and the Boys and Girls Club. Whatever we sell that we know somebody's not coming, then we can, we'll share them with Ryan.
I understand. I just was curious if there was an interest. That was my
Right.
that we can help your, if they really want to come, if they enjoy the game.
Yeah. So, if you're out there selling something, well, I can't make it, so I'll buy a couple of tickets, we'll give them to, Ryan's group or whatever. People understand that.
Do you have a date yet for your event with the strikers?
No, I don't. I'm
Okay.
supposed to get with them.
How many tickets you think you'll need?
It'll probably be around.
Okay. That works.
It'll probably be canvases.
That'd be nice.
So, whatever we can do, don't take no for an answer. Sell them a ticket, sell them 2 tickets, and,
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pete. Moving along, Lion Tom golf tournament.
Yeah, if you'll let me make a motion, if it's not for conflict, that we approve the contract that we passed around at the board meeting for the golf tournament. I will chair the golf tournament.
All right.
Can I get a second?
I didn't hear you make the motion.
I said, okay.
I apologize.
No, I apologize. I
Tom,
move that we let Tom sign the contract for the golf tournament.
And I'll second that.
all right. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Second.
All right. We have a third now. All right. All in favor of letting Tom sign the golf contract, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. So,
Speed round 2,
So we have a date then, for
October 10th,
October 10th.
Columbus Day again.
all right. Lion Pete, there's a follow-up on the request that we had to use our screening machine.
According to, what's her name?
Angela,
She's gonna need it, I think, around the 1st of April sometime. So,
it got pushed back.
I haven't given it to her yet. She hadn't signed anything, so whenever she needs it, I'll get it to her. She's gonna have to come to my house and get it. Catherine knows this. I don't know if anybody else knows it or not. This Friday, I'm having a pacemaker put in.
Oh.
Yeah, I found a glitch in my heart. So I'm getting some new equipment.
See if you love too much.
Wow.
Actually, what I'm really telling people is that Judy's telling me to slow down. But that ain't true. So anyway, I'll have that, and I'll be basically can't go anywhere for 10 days. I'm not supposed to drive for 10 days. And
I hope you get.
so
Okay.
it is what it is.
Are you gonna get groceries ahead of time, or can we bring you
I
some
am next
groceries?
to,
or-
I am next to
Yeah,
him,
so-
so I can be all the time there.
I appreciate that. We may need, something.
If need
But I
something.
think Judy and I are
message
probably
me.
gonna go grocery shopping on Thursday.
Okay.
She can't go by herself, but she don't drive.
I can drive
so,
there and we
I
can
know.
go.
But if we need something in the meantime, you know, something
Please
comes
let
up,
me know.
so,
Just,
thank you.
just know there are.
Yeah.
Whole
those
table.
that can-
I am 2 steps from
Yeah, that's what I said, but
his house,
between-
yeah.
all
In
those-
case you're working.
Can you
Yes.
stop by Texas
I
Roadhouse
found
next
that
week
place.
and bring me some?
Bring you a blooming onion and some,
We can do that.
I'm
I
just
can
kidding,
drink
I'm
some
just kidding.
whiskey. I have work in that
Uber
whiskey.
Eats delivers high
I know.
cholesterol food all the time.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a connection to Chick-fil-A though.
Yeah, we do.
There you go.
You on? No.
Yeah, you do.
We do.
Bill,
Oh, yeah. Mr. Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Mr. Peach Bowl Volunteer of the Year.
That's good,
Latin
Bill.
for Chick-fil-A.
Bill's taking his cup and putting it up to the camera.
Yeah, he's.
Promo.
You even got his initials on there.
And, okay, what
It's
else we
brought
got?
to you by Chick-fil-A.
What else we got, President?
All right, okay. We apparently received money back from the Boy Scouts.
Yes, we did.
Is that correct, Catherine?
Yes.
Y'all sitting down?
I'm in possession of a check that was delivered to me from Lion Pete from the Boy Scout account. They have donated $2,491.
Wow.
We're going to Vegas.
After a brief discussion with Brian, what we need to do is deposit those funds into our admin account. From there, if the club chooses to designate funds to a particular group or whatever, move it into activities, we can do that. But for now, it is going to go into admin. That will definitely take some pressure off, as far as making sure we're able to cover the upcoming semi-annual payments, since we've had several members leave without paying their dues. So that's kind of a relief, but as soon as I have that'll be in the bank by next meeting. I hope to have a couple of ideas of what we can use some of the money for the club, specifically for the club.
Got
Nice.
That was a surprise too.
Big surprise.
it.
Wonderful.
All right, last item on the agenda, Lion Catherine, the swarm have contacted us again.
So, yes, they have, their next home game is on April the 1st. They have invited us to come back and sell chuckaballs again. John, God bless him, he is pitching hard for us and trying to help us as much as he can. According to Mike, the sales manager, they've got several organizations who are very interested in doing the chuckaballs on the 1st, but John convinced him to give us first right of refusal. So the deal is, what they want is for us, they are happy to supply tickets for any of the club to come and sell chuckaballs. We will not be able to take credit cards for this particular sale. And all of the money at the end of the night will be given back to the swarm. And instead, we will be given credit for enough tickets to cover however much we raise. So if we raise $500 or $650, we'll get 20 tickets to sell for the April 30th game.
Okay.
So that is the offer on the table. My concern with that offer is that there is no guarantee that we are going to sell, even if we only, let's say we sell 20 tickets worth, then the only way we're going to get the money out of all of our work is to sell those 20 tickets.
So we're gonna work twice.
We have to work twice, and the fact that in the short historical period we have with the swarm, we have not been able to sell more than 7 tickets. And that's even amongst ourselves. So unless we team up with another club, in either Buford or somebody, where we can pool our efforts and have either more volunteers or, get more sold, and then have them in turn help us sell those tickets.
So
It's kind of
the other Achilles foot there is we can't use our square.
No.
So you
Because, well,
mentioned,
it just creates a bigger nightmare because if we take the credit cards, then as soon as that money is deposited, then I have to turn around and deal with their account, then we have to turn around and move money back and forth for the swarm.
Right.
Or turn around and buy those tickets.
but most of our tickets were sold on Square, right?
No.
No? Okay. I felt like it
The
was.
thing is, April 1st is also college night with the Georgia Swarm. Because I was up at Gwinnett Tech and I saw a poster there. They're giving away tickets to students to come attend the game. So
I get
Probably a lot of-
emails every week for free tickets. I get 4 tickets every week.
At the end of the day, it's about them selling tickets. I mean,
Right.
they basically want to cover in advance, those, whatever tickets we can help them sell, to help their numbers. I get the
So I was
theory.
just saying that a lot of the crowd there's going to be college students and they're not going to want to pay.
They're not gonna want to pay
chuck-
$20 to play chuckaball.
Right.
They want $20 to buy beer. Let's get real.
How was, because I sent you a message, but probably you were very busy and don't answer. How was last time when we were there?
Last time we raised, it was right under $800 for the night. So between
we
that,
did good.
yeah, I mean, like I said, it was better than the time before, but like I said, we were able to, as a matter of fact, if I can borrow back my budget. Sure. The net that we raised between the two games, was $365. So we did two night sales, but we had to do that to break even because we spent $1,300 just to be there. So that was part of it, because the deal was we were supposed to sell 50 tickets
Right.
to get that money back. And then everything else would have been actual
Right.
proceeds. So they were kind enough to let us come back for free and to keep the proceeds so we could at least break even and have a little bit to donate.
Right.
But, and again, I appreciate the fact they're letting us come for free.
Yes.
There's no money out of pocket, it's time. But my concern is that we're not gonna be able to sell the tickets that we earn.
Right.
So, we need to decide if we want to accept their very gracious offer or tell them that we've just got too much on our plate right now and that we'd like to work with them again next season.
How much the tickets cost?
The tickets we were selling were like $26 a piece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, technically, if they give us credit for those tickets, okay, let me see if I understand this correctly. All right, for all the proceeds of the chuckaballs
Yeah,
go into crediting us tickets
for a
Right.
specific game.
for a specific game, all right, and any money that we make selling those tickets is ours.
Yes.
All right, so we can sell them for,
We can't sell them for more than face value.
oh, and I was like, no, I was thinking the other direction, I don't know.
Well,
I move that we politely decline their offer.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to politely decline their offer. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries.
Thank you very much. I'll take care of it in the morning.
All right, thank you. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
All right, and there we go, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Oh, a side note, if you guys missed Ryan's first trivia night, and we had a blast,
That's fine.
so you guys better come to the next one, darn it.
Yes,
And get
So
the
they-
cauliflower wings.
And get
They were
cauliflower
really good.
wings, they were amazing.
wow.
What?
I met a guy the other night, head of instruction for Gwinnett County. Did you get that card? I sent-
Oh, there was nothing. I meant to email you back. The email was blank.
Was it blank?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I'll send it again.
Yeah, that's what it
It
was.
was written in invisible ink, so
Yeah.
this is all secret.
Are those your choices?
Yes,
You make a donation.
Yes, they are.
Do you mind
Thank you.
rather than just the donation? Buy like 4 tickets.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And then
Good luck Friday.
I'll give 'em
Yeah, I'll be all right. They're just
Well,
gonna be
I'll have to-
pocket